There's a number that quietly ruins buyers in Toronto, and it is not the purchase price. It is the monthly burn rate. And the uncomfortable truth is this. You can earn $300,000 a year and still cross that line into stress. Today, I'm going to break down what $100,000, $200,000, and $300,000 incomes can actually buy you in Toronto. For each one, I'm going to show you the bank approval, what your carrying costs. Then I'll show you the real things that's going to really affect you, the real monthly cost. Then I'm going to show you properties that you buy right now at those price points. At the end, I'm going to give you one rule to protect you at every income level. So let's start with $100,000. So you're single, you earn $100,000, no debt. Congratulations. You have 10% down, you've been saving, and you're looking at a 5-year fixed mortgage with 30-year amortization. On paper, that feels strong. Let's see what the bank says. Okay, so we have $100,000 entered into our calculator. We have zero debts, $50,000 down payment, 4% interest rate, 30-year amortization. Let's guess condo fees are about $400 based on this purchase price, which is fair. Some a little bit higher, some a little bit lower, depending on the amenities in the building. And that qualifies you for this over $500,000 in purchase price. So this is what your mortgage would be. And this is your total monthly housing cost. Let's break that down a little bit, how we got to come up to that. So you got mortgage over here at $2,300. Your estimated property tax is a little bit on the high end, in my opinion, but it's better to overestimate. This is what you'd be paying in heat or hydro. That's about fair in a 1-bedroom condo. And your condo fees were $400. So that puts your monthly housing costs about a little bit over $3,000 a month. Again, every bank's a little bit different. Please confirm with your lender before going forth with any purchases. And it's best to get a pre-approval. And one thing to remember as a first-time home buyer is that you have land transfer tax. But the good news is that you will have rebates on the provincial and municipal land transfer. And then there's CMHC insurance as well if you don't have 20% down. And a lot of time, the lender will roll this into your mortgage, so you don't have to pay that up front. So now you saw the approval range, and you saw the full monthly cost once you add the mortgage, property tax, condo fees, and you have to add insurance as well. Insurance is usually about $30. But here's the gap that most people miss. 6 figures sounds comfortable, but once housing pushes you towards half your take-home pay, it's not there yet, but it's pretty close, flexibility starts shrinking. You're qualified, but now you're tight, potentially, depending on what your lifestyle is. But let's see what that approval actually buys you in Toronto. This is important. So we're strictly looking in the downtown core. So south of Bloor, between Liberty Village all the way to Distillery. And when you're looking at, I took out the bachelors because, why buy a bachelor when you can get a 1-bedroom these days? Back a few years ago, $500,000 got you a bachelor. So condos are discounted heavily right now. And when we're looking at 1 and 2 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms might be a little bit tight, but I just want to see what's out there. We have 227 listings that are available. Here's some stats that you probably don't see usually is that when we're looking at stats over here, is that average days on market, a lot of these properties are about 47 days. And the median is about 32 days. This is very important numbers to pay attention to. That means there's some negotiating power that you have for sure, which is fantastic. And when looking at properties, there's lots of choices at the moment. Let's say you start at the low end of your range. Let's say you're looking at, Dover Court Road, very small boutique building, $425. So this is you get a 1-bedroom, in Little Portugal, small little space, but it's over 500 square feet. It's cute, it's bright, floor ceiling windows, updated finishes. That's for $425. And your maintenance fees are affordable at these. Let's see. Maintenance is only $400 a month, which is in line with what I said earlier. So let's say you want to increase your purchase price to $460, and This is right in the core, right downtown for $469. You get a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, in a decent building, way more space than the other place. Because this one is much bigger. It's over 500 square feet. You're facing south. And let's say you're going to go towards a max, which I don't suggest, but let's say you want to get as big as possible because everything's on discounts right now. So you could even move into right downtown on Richmond, very close to Yonge Street, 600 square feet, a 1+ den, no parking though. That's the common element, but here's the unit right here. It's a 1+ den for $500,000, and big bedroom, a lot more space in the living dining. You see the difference. Not too bad. So this is the real reality about now. You get 1 bedroom and 1+ dens. Maintenance fees are not too bad. You're in decent buildings right now. You find this breakdown very helpful. You want to see more Toronto numbers and market analysis and help like this, hit subscribe. So here's the thing. Most people shop emotionally. On this channel, we shop with math. Do you stretch to your ceiling? Do you go to the max at $500,000? Or do you lower the purchase price to protect your cash flow? Because your first property is a stepping stone and you control what your monthly burn rate is. But you also want the option. Let's see what happens when we double the income. Okay, let's say you double the income to 200,000. And you have no debt. You've been pretty good with that. But let's increase your down payment because now, usually when you double your income, you have a little bit more resources. Let's make that to 200,000 down payment. Okay. 4% interest rate, 30-year amortization. No condo fees because most likely you're looking at homes right now. Affordability, it's 1.2 mil. 1.2 mil, you still don't need the full, you don't need a 20% down, but this will get you close. Usually not a first-time home buyer too, so let's change that a little bit. Okay, so at 1.2 mil, your gross take home is about $16,000 a month. But when you're looking at in terms of what your mortgage is, your mortgage is about almost $5,000. Total monthly cost is just close to $6,000. So a couple of things is when you're looking at this is that your land transfer is about $41,000 because you don't get the rebate anymore. And your total monthly cost is based on your mortgage, your estimated property tax. That's about right. Still a little bit, maybe a little bit high on that estimation, but it's better to be high. Heating is about that. That's about right. And you have other things as well, like insurance and all that. But so your total monthly cost is probably closer to $6,000, but these are just estimates, right? It's based on every person is a little bit different. Every house is a little bit different. So what does this mean? So now you can buy into the 7 figures. So that approval jumps up quickly when there's 2 of you. But looking at the payment again, even at $200,000, housing can approach about half of your take-home pay. So different price point, but you can have the same sort of stress patterns. Now you add another layer. So many buyers at this level are selling and buying at the same time. That's why I've given you a larger down payment too. You also have a large deposit because maybe it built some equity. Or you stayed at a very cheap rental for many years and saved a lot of money. There's a tighter timeline because if you're buying and selling at the same time. A little bit more exposure if the market shift if you're buying and selling. But let's see what the average range buys you in terms of the 1.2 range. Okay, on the low end of what you can buy, I'm looking at east and west of downtown. Most people that move up from a Toronto condo or condo towns don't really stay in downtown core unless you have a pretty big down payment gift from maybe a parent or a grandparent. Having said that, the reality of it is that let's say we buy something in the 900,000. That those are usually secondary up and coming neighborhoods like Corsa Italia, the one area, or even in upper like Woodbine Lumsden area, which is like East York area as well. Let's say on 43 Edward. So this place is a detached 2-story, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 948, 2-car parking. That's one. Needs a little bit of work. Let's say you move up to just shy of $1 million. Westmoreland, it's a semi-detached 2-bedroom, 3-bath home. Look cute, very cute. Just over 1,100 square feet. And let's say you move up to just over $1 million. You have up and coming area as well. Keysdale. This is very close to the new LRT. You get a 3-bedroom detached, good size space with 4-car parking. Right. You can see more you go up in price. Obviously, you get a little bit more choices. Let's say this right in East York, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, nicely updated for just under 1.1. Not too bad. 0 parking though. That's notorious for lots of East York properties. And let's say you go up to 1.1. Could be right on Caledonia Road, detached because you're on a main street at 1.1, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, lots of space, needs some work, but detached. And then let's say you go up to your max. Let's say you found an extra 50,000 laying around. Like who doesn't find extra money lying around? Let's say you're at 1.2, semi-detached, big semi-detached. East near Coxford, Woodbine area, right on Keele as well. So you're on the main streets, you get a little bit more dollar, a little bit more value for your dollar. And let's say go up to 229 on Danforth, renovated, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, only 2 bedrooms though, but you don't need the extra bedroom, 3rd bedroom, a lot more living space. But again, notorious on the east side, a lot of spaces don't have parking. If you don't need parking, fantastic. That helps you a lot more because you get a lot more house. That's it. Now you're seeing a lot more detached homes on main streets in certain pockets. Better school districts too. You got a lot more space than the previous price level. And it feels like progress. But here's the fork in the road. Do you buy at your maximum or do you pull back a little bit and create a little bit of cushion? Because the cushion is going to protect you when there's renewal. And cushions protects you if income pauses. Let's say one person, lose your job or whatnot. And it gives you more control. And push you a little bit further. Let's change it again. Let's go up to 300,000 household level. Let's say you have 20% down, no debt at this level. And many buyers believe this is at this level, you have no concern. Let's see what that means. So at this price point, you're at 300,000. You have about $400,000 in either cash and or equity. So you made some good investments. And now you have a lot more choices. So let's break this down to what the monthlies look like. So your mortgage payments is about $7,000, a little bit over $7,000. Property tax, pretty close. That's very close to where you'd be paying monthly for property tax. Heating is about there. You might have a little bit more hydro on top of that. Your monthly cost is about that. So I would estimate about $9,000 for this. So now the bank approval is large. You're deep into 7 figures. You're almost at 2 mil. And psychologically, something shifts. You stop asking what is safe. You start asking how far you can go because, you feel comfortable. But looking at the monthly burn rate, it's pretty high. Once you add the mortgage, property tax, insurance, that number is becoming serious. So even at $300,000 income, housing can dominate your cash flow. And at this level, small overpayments become 6-figure mistakes over time. Let's see what this budget can buy you. So now you're looking at homes from 1.4 to about 2 mil. And same areas, but now you get to look at different houses in those same areas. And let's say you start in the low end at 1.4. At 1.4, let's look in a decent neighborhood, which let's look at this one over here. The semis, you can see, get much bigger when you're at this price point at 1.48. Looks great. Inside, a little bit updated, but size is huge. There's 1.4, right? There's a little bit of updates that needed, but you can see that this has 2-car parking, right? And then areas like the beach start popping up, the beaches right now. So when you're looking at other areas, like even on, Craven's an interesting street on the east side, you get new builds like this. It's 1.5. Beautiful. I love the flooring here. A lot of great design features throughout. And you get 3 parking spaces. Updated kitchen. That's at 1.5. Let's go up to 1.7. Deep into East York. But you get big homes. Look at this home. Detached at 1.7. Definitely have parking at this price point. 4-car, 3-car parking, 4 beds, 4 bath. Not bad at 1.7. Beautiful home. That's at 1.7. Not at your max yet. Say you're at 1.9. What does 1.9 get you? Now you're in primary neighborhoods, like right in High Park, Swansea. 1.94. Beautiful space. 3 bed, 4 bath, 3-car parking. That's a beautiful space. Great neighborhoods. Schools are way better in these pockets. And let's say you're looking at the top. You're in Bloor West Village, 1.99. Right on Humbercrest. You see, totally different purchase price. So there's prime neighborhoods at this price point. You have a combined income of about 300,000. Looking at detached homes, there's finished basements, lots of space. There's a living room, there's also family room. Looks very impressive. But here's the question that matters. Do you want the biggest house the bank allows, or the house that lets you invest, travel, sleep well during renewals, like all the other things so that you're not house poor? So now before we wrap up, if you want access to the affordability calculator I just used in this video, comment income below and I'll DM you the link. You use it for free. But remember, it's only for informational purposes only. Just go to your bank and your mortgage broker to get your real assessment. So let's bring this back to the number that quietly ruins buyers, the monthly burn rate. The bank qualifies you using ratios. You can see it in my calculator. But bank does not ask about your lifestyle. Like, do you go on trips often? Do you have a lot of things for your kids? Do you have a nice car? But before you shop, calculate your real monthly take-home pay and multiply that by 1/3. That is your total housing ceiling, in my opinion. Maybe go a little bit higher, but not by much. That's your mortgage, property tax, condo fees, insurance. Then work backwards to your purchase price at 100,000, 200,000, or 300,000, whatever that your income level is. In this way, you play it safe. The principal stays the same, but you control the burn rate, your monthly cash flow. That's very important. And your house works for you. Ignore it, and no salary will feel like it's enough.